Hi there, this is Maria from the Chipster team, and this is a tutorial on how to fill in your phenodata file. So in Chipster, the phenodata file is a .tsv file that you use to define your experimental setup. The file is usually generated during the analysis. So for example, here we have Affymetrix cell files to which we have done some normalization. So when running this tool, the phenodata file was generated. Similarly, when you're doing NGS, usually you run the tool define NGS experiments under utilities, and that one will as well generate this kind of phenodata file, which will have this tiny exclamation mark telling you that you need to fill in some information to continue your analysis. So how do you do that? You just click the phenodata file and then you choose the phenodata editor here, and as you can see, there's the exclamation mark in the group column. So this is the column you need to fill in to explain the sample groups in your data. Please keep in mind that you might want to use numbers to describe the groups, so that you choose 1 to describe the control sample. So in our case that would be the normal sample, and the cancer samples would then be numbered with 2. This is just to tell Chipster how to do the comparison between the groups. So for example here we would put just 1 to normal samples and 2 to all the cancer samples, like this, and then the exclamation mark disappears. You could also use just cancer and normal as labels, but then you would have to remember that because C comes before N in the alphabets, cancer would then be used as the reference group. So I would really advise you to use numbers instead of any naming. You also have there the description group, which is filled in automatically based on the original file name. But that might often be not that informative, and it might be also very long. So I would suggest using some shorter naming there. So for example, cancer, patient 1, time point 1, or something like that. You can change all the names. You can also add new columns. So for example, in our case, we might want to add their gender column, describing the gender of the patients, and maybe some batch column, describing the experimental batches that we might have in our data. And you can fill in those as well. Please also notice that you can arrange the phenodata if you just click the column that you want to arrange it according to. So just to remember that if you click it by accident, your data gets ordered differently. Hopefully this was helpful.